In today's show, how Thunder players and coaches reacted to the injury of Russell Westbrook and Boston's connection to the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon.
Also, a look back at this year's Festival of the Arts and the Norman Music Festival. We have a packed show. Let's get to it.
Russell Westbrook's season officially came to an abrupt end after the second game of the first round of the playoffs. The hope still remains for a long and productive NBA career from the Thunder's all-star point guard. And just after the news broke, Sam Presti, Kevin Durant, Scott Brooks all met with the media and shared their thoughts about Westbrook and the rest of the Thunder team.
Russell suffered a lateral meniscus tear of his right knee and in his right knee, and we're certainly disappointed for him. The health of our players is always first and foremost. There's nothing more important than that. And fortunately, this is something that with a procedure, he'll be able to return to the court, better than ever. We're confident in that. And, as he is disappointed, so is our team. Our team's disappointed for Russell. We know what kind of competitor he is, how much he wants to be out there, but it's a medical decision. And, our team as a whole, we've got a resilient group of guys, a lot of character within that locker room. And a group that enjoys playing together and has been through some adversities over the last several years that they've been together. So we'd expect them to adjust, come together, and have different guys step in and play well collectively. But clearly our thoughts are really with Russell and getting him healthy and back on the floor.
Unfortunate for a guy who loves to play the game so much. He's dedicated, committed to his team, gives his all every second he's on the floor. A lot of people may not like what he brings to our team, but inside we love what he does. He's a different player, a different person, but we love what he brings, and it's unfortunate that he can't compete at the highest level of basketball, which is the playoffs. And we're just praying for him, and hopefully he comes back, full recovery, has a full recovery, and has a speedy recovery, and we just got to step up in his absence.
I have a lot of respect for Russell. He gives everything he has for the team, and all of our players feel the same way. We love Russell Westbrook. We love what he's about. We love the determination and the drive that he has had, and he's ever since we drafted him. But we all understand as being in this business that injuries do happen. It's unfortunate that it happened. But as a group, I have confidence in the guys. I have the utmost respect for all the guys' preparation. The reason why we're in this position is because of the work that they've all put in. And I think I'm confident in the group that we have. I believe in our guys, and I'm excited and going to embrace the challenge going down to Houston and trying to take care of business.
Is that what you told them this morning after you guys found out?
Yes, I talked to the guys, and we found out this morning, and they all felt the same way. We all have a lot of respect for what Russell brings to our team. He's a fierce competitor. He competes on every possession. Those are the guys that you want all your players to be around and your younger players to look up to, and he's been a great role model for our team and our organization, our city, that he just competes every day for the team.
Westbrook underwent successful surgery to repair that tear in his right knee, but the procedure means Westbrook will miss the remainder of this year's playoffs and undergo several weeks of rehabilitation. Now, Westbrook had not missed a game since joining the NBA 5 years ago, nor had he missed a game his 2 seasons at UCLA, or reportedly in his entire career at Losing Your High School in Lawndale, California.
And yes, we definitely wish Westbrook well. All right, well, the playoffs affect more than just the Thunder basketball players and staff. Everyone at the Chesapeake Energy Arena is impacted, especially the restaurants. Food dude Dave Cathy recently toured the Peaks Center Court Grill and then went up to the club level.
Pretty much here is it's a blend of upscale barbecue, in-house smoked and everything, and steaks, seafood. Everything's from scratch here. We do from scratch, our barbecue, everything, desserts, all of that. So it's just kind of a Oklahoma wholesome barbecue, chicken fried steak, and little upscale twist.
Yeah, well, you told me, too, you're from Texas, and that means chili. So tell me about your chili a little bit.
Oh, my gosh. Our chili has we do prime rib in here, so there's some leftover scraps from our prime rib. There's some scraps from brisket, from our house-smoked brisket, and I can't tell you everything. I'll tell you because you're from Texas, but not on camera. But I can't wait for y'all to try that.
All right, you guys do dessert in here?
Oh, absolutely. We do a peach cobbler that, just basic peach cobbler and a little ramekin. What else do we have? Buttermilk pie. What else? A gigantic apple pie.
Sounds great, man. It sounds like this is the place to come to get ready for the game.
Absolutely.
Now, any surprises lined up for the playoffs?
We'll probably run a few specials in playoffs, but
Depending on who we're playing.
exactly, exactly.
Jack Daniel's Old Number 7 Club, Chef Andrew. What do we got here?
Here we have kind of about 7 or 8 different appetizers. This whole area used to be the Old Number 7 Club, and it was our restaurant. So with this area, now it's more featured as a bar. So we have some house-made, in-house bar food. The Old Number 7 Sampler, which is our house wings, our mozzarella cheese sticks. Oh, and then the onion rings on that.
Gotta have that.
And, yeah, exactly.
You also, I imagine people come popping in here maybe at halftime and things like that.
Exactly. It's huge. And right now, before the event and after.
Yeah. Turn them and burn them in here.
Yeah, it's the place to be at halftime. I think everybody, they fill this up to the max, and there's a line waiting to get in. So.
Well, and then, of course, there's the Thunderita.
Exactly. I haven't had one, but I know they're good. Yes, all.
You tell by the smiling faces?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we have moved up to the club level now. Here we are with Chef Collins. You've got some pretty exciting stuff going on. Tell me about what you got.
Oh, we sure do. Getting ready for the playoffs. I figure you're going to come here and watch some awesome basketball game.
Yeah.
And you're also going to have some awesome food to go with it.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the things we've decided to roll out for this playoff is something we call a cone wedge. A cone wedge is a spiral, fresh, soft bread.
Okay.
Okay, that's basically what it is.
Good for a game. Can kind of hang on to it.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's one of the really true one-hand sandwich. And we have them in 3 of our outlets. And we have them in 3 different flavors as well. We have them in one that we call the Smokehouse Barbecue. With that, actually, you get turkey, which is smoked turkey. You get smoked brisket with it. And even the macaroni and cheese that you get with it, it's also made out of smoked cheddar.
Nice.
So
nice.
Talk about smokehouse,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. I like it. I like it. You're speaking my language.
Exactly. Also, across from the barbecue pit stand, we have what we call our sausage chicken. Okay. We sell chicken in all kind of different forms in there. What we have there is, actually, we have chicken tenders. We do it in-house. It's fresh. We bread it ourselves. We fry them, toss it in hot sauce. And then we also have what we call our wow items. There is I'm sure, this is Oklahoma. We all love Okie chicken fried steak and all that good stuff. So we say, okay, we're going to take this and just make it big enough for a family. Okay? So
Or for me.
Yeah, exactly. So it's actually a 2-footer. So you can bring a family of 5, you have enough, sandwich to, actually feed them. And it's great. We're extremely excited. We're looking forward to it, like I said. Even if you don't want to come see the game, which I think you should. But hey, come for the food.
That's right. Hey, you've got some impressive stuff. There's a hot dog over there. It's enormous. But the dessert, that looks like the real showstopper.
That's how Levy's signature. I mean, you look at those desserts. Everything you could think about, actually, it's on there. Okay, if you want to die by cheese or chocolate, or whatever you imagine, or whatever it is, float your boat. You have it.
Well, that's cool, man.
Oh, that is some good-looking food.
Yes, it is.
Great places to eat in the Chesapeake Energy Arena.
Absolutely. It's full of entertainment, lots of food and beverage options there for those who wish to choose.
Yes,
But speaking of food, thousands of people attend the Festival of the Arts in Oklahoma City every year. Some people call it the Festival of Food. But we're going to talk with one of the artists when we come back.
And hundreds of bands converge in Norman for the 6th annual Norman Music Festival. That's coming up.
Everyone gets excited on game day. With the Oklahoman Full Access, you can get your sports news any way you like. The Oklahoman Full Access includes print, smartphones, tablets, print replica, and our digital archives, starting as low as $12 a month. And it's free to current print subscribers. Log on to newsok.com/subscribe to get started today. The Oklahoman Full Access.
Hello, this is Mary. I can help you.
Hi, my grandma wants to know how to record my show.
Press the guide button on the remote.
Abuelita, toca el botón guide.
Now find your show on the screen and press record.
Ahora busca el programa en la
pantalla.
Working hard for every smile. Another reason why Cox is your friend in the digital age.
Everyone has their morning routine. With the Oklahoman Full Access, you can get your morning news any way you like. The Oklahoman Full Access includes print, smartphones, tablets, print replica, and our digital archives, starting as low as $12 a month. And it's free to current print subscribers. Log on to theoklahoman.com/subscribe to get started today. The Oklahoman Full Access.
Angie has some numbers for you. About 750,000 people come to the Festival of the Arts every year. 144 artists show off their work, 300 performing artists, and of course there are fun areas for children and that unique food.
Oh, definitely. But every year, the festival honors one artist above the rest. I caught up with this year's poster artist to check out her work. Angie with News OK. I'm down here at the 47th Annual Festival of the Arts. This is exciting. I am actually here with the poster artist. She has been busy. She obviously is very talented. Beautiful artwork that you see behind us. She also helped design and make the art that is on the poster of the Festival of the Arts and the buttons that you see and all of that fun stuff. Tell us about your artwork.
Well, I am a fine art painter. I paint in acrylics and I use texture underneath to kind of get the texture that you may or may not see. You have to come out here to kind of see that. And I do a lot of scenes with balloons and umbrellas, and the bright colors that I use in the umbrellas and balloons represent hope in my work. Yeah.
So tell us about this honor, obviously, of being chosen to be the poster artist.
Yeah, it's definitely a big honor. I've only been doing this full time for a few years. It's the first time I've been the poster artist for any show, and I was honored to be asked to do it this year. So I'm very thankful for that. Last year was the first year I did it, and they asked me to be the poster artist this year.
Obviously, talented artist down here. You got to come check out her work and lots of other work. You can see paintings, you can see sculptures, and you can eat delicious food. So it makes it all worth it for sure. Well, thank you so much. What great artwork.
Thanks. Thank you.
And you know, after that shoot, which was on a very cold day, it was about 38 degrees and we were out there for 3 hours.
It's pretty much the worst day of the festival.
It was frozen, yes. But one thing that warmed me up and made it worth it, I had the chicken and waffles. And they were amazing. Chicken and waffles.
It's a great combination.
It was. I mean, you wouldn't think, but it is. It's very good.
Artistic comfort food is what that is.
Yes, there you go.
Well, the Arts Festival wasn't the only festival happening in April. The Norman Music Festival, number 6. Featuring over 200 bands on more than 20 stages. Entertainment assistant editor George Lang and myself checked out the festival. We chatted with one of the bands after they brought the energy to the Opolis indoor stage, talking about the Whirlybirds, and they spoke about the musical influences.
Okay, we just got through an amazing 11 o'clock set with the Whirlybirds. Really, congratulations. It was an amazing set. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I was looking at your list of influences, and I could really tell a lot about what you guys care about. Great production, because you've got George Martin listed. Just consummate musicianship, because you've got the Funk Brothers, probably the best musicians that ever played together, and classic British song structures, because you've got Ray Davies and the Kinks. But at no time did I really feel like you guys were leaning too heavily on any particular influence. What is it like to create songs without, bringing those things too far up front?
I think it has most to do with the fact that that's not all we listen to. We all have pretty diverse influences, and I don't know. There's a lot of, it doesn't seem like it in the music, but there's a lot of jazz influence and R&B influence and stuff like that. So I think all of those things probably come out just as much as anything else.
Yeah, well, I can definitely hear it in your guitar style. It definitely comes through. How did the band come together? I mean, you've been together for a few years at least, right?
Us three.
Yeah, not me.
Three of us guys. We've been playing together since, 2005, 2006. Yeah, like 7 years. And
yeah, they adopted me like maybe 2010 or something like that.
Cool. She was, we adopted her from Spain.
Very cool. Now, your latest album, is that Mulberry Huff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, tell me about the recording of that.
We actually recorded that on reel-to-reel tape in her living room, because she has this great hardwood floor living room with like 18-foot ceilings, and all the recording was done there, most of it, and then we took it to Blackwatch Studios here in Norman, and Jared Evans mixed and produced it and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Yeah, he always does. He's got an amazing ear for things.
Yeah.
Now, but that process is really kind of interesting, because to bring really like finished recording to him. How did things kind of transform after you bring that kind of raw recording?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what we were expecting in the first place, and then he turned it into something that it very much wasn't to begin with, and I think he's very responsible for how happy I personally, at least, am with it, and he did a whole lot of things that I would have never thought of. He has an ear for it. I mean, we talked extensively before we ever went in about what we wanted it to be like and all of that, but and
hours. He would just go and go and go. We'll be there until
the first several days. The first several days were like 22, 24-hour days. It was long hours, but it paid off.
Wow. Okay, now, I mean, just a few more words about what you guys were feeling from the crowd tonight.
Oh, I thought it was great. I thought we got real good feedback tonight. It always transfers the energy. You can tell when the crowd's enjoying it and when they're not. I think they're having a good time.
How many Norman Music Festivals have you guys done?
This will be our third. This will be our third, yeah.
And so how does this compare to previous experiences?
This one is one of the best. I mean,
the first one was really good too.
The first one was really good. We played the outside Opolis stage that they had set up here, and then last year was probably my least favorite. But this year in 2010 or 2011 would probably be neck and neck for favorite.
Excellent. Yeah, it really came together tonight. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. All right. Thanks.
So I had never heard the Whirlybirds before. We cover a lot of live local music around here, but I had not heard them before. They're outstanding.
Yeah.
One song I didn't roll on is what they closed their set with. It was Long Tall Sally, which is the old Little Richard, Beatles, that 60s style. I mean, they just ripped a hole in the sky with their version. It was like, wow, these guys were very talented.
You guys covered how many different bands did you do individual videos on?
I think we have 16 or 17. You can find that on static.newsok.com.
There you go, man. That's awesome. Very cool. All right, well, coming up next, hear about runners who were at the Boston Marathon who ran alongside the thousands at the recent Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon.
With the Oklahoman Full Access, we deliver your news any way you'd like. The Oklahoman Full Access includes print, smartphones, tablets, print replica, digital archives, and the new Oklahoman.com. Plans start at only $12 a month. And all this is free to current print subscribers. Log on to oklahoman.com/subscribe to get started today. The Oklahoman Full Access.
I look up to you for all the things you do. I hope to be like you someday soon.
Working hard for every smile. Another reason why Cox is your friend in the digital age.
We're shooting more photos at each assignment, but we're putting those into separate galleries that can be added into the iPad and online editions so that the viewers can see a lot more photographs. We can tell a lot more of the story visually, give them more detailed shots, more overall shots, just a lot more variety that really enriches their experience.
Well, more than 24,000 runners from 47 states participated in the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon on April 28th. And that total included 10 runners who were on the Boston Marathon course when the bombs exploded and couldn't finish the race. They were allowed to run in Oklahoma City's marathon for free.
It was the 13th year for the Memorial Marathon, and crowds packed the areas around the finish line, and that's where I caught up with the Oklahoman's Jenny Carlson.
The Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. The headline in the Oklahoman on Friday was 26.2 miles of security. And of course, after the Boston Marathon, security was a huge issue. You've spoken with some officials and some runners, and what's the feedback so far?
Yeah, so far so good. Nothing amiss thus far here at the marathon, which obviously a lot of police, a lot of emergency officials here. They're really making sure that the course is as secure as possible, doing a fantastic job from what we've heard so far.
The officials I spoke with down here were relieving some congestion just past the finish line and past those burgers that the runners get after they've run. So a lot of participants in this year's event, and I've seen a lot of Red Sox.
Yeah, a lot of Red Sox in honor of the Boston runners and what happened in Boston. Red Sox also green shoelaces to honor the Oklahoma City bombing victims, which is the reason for this race. A run to remember is what they call it, but a lot of Boston t-shirts and hats, just a lot of people thinking about Boston today.
We have plenty of team coverage from the Oklahoman, and our Ryan Avers spoke with some of the winners.
The time, the weather turned out to be all right. I took a minute pit stop too, about mile 14, so I was really happy to make up that time. So yeah, it was a great result. So, a minute pit stop? Yeah, I didn't break around Lake Hester Exchange, so I was a little disappointed about that. My stomach was kind of cramping up. So after that, I felt really good. Caught a second win around the 20th mark, which usually doesn't happen, so I went with it.
Did you come here this morning expecting to win?
I thought I had a chance, but there's good Oklahoma runners, and it just depends on who decides to hop in the race that day.
Cindy, what does this race mean to you to be a part of, given what you've been through?
Just prove the evil isn't going to beat us. Good wins over evil, and life goes on. Good life goes on.
And Terry,
it means a lot. I mean, she's an inspiration. She was in a bombing accident in 1980 in Germany, the national terror. So kind of here to reflect on that.
And again, congrats to all the runners who participated in that event. That's quite an accomplishment. You could see the look of accomplishment on those people just past the finish line when they're grabbing their burgers and bananas and wrapping up like baked potatoes and silver things.
And Jenny Carlson wrote an article that really, she interviewed some of those runners from the Boston who obviously ran in the Boston Marathon. And so you can read that online at newsok.com, and of course it was in the Oklahoman. And it's really nice. Some of the things that they said, obviously it was really meaningful for them to come. One lady I think came from Michigan, and wanted to finish the race and be able to race. One guy was talking about how this was crazy that he ran 2 races in 2 weeks, 2 marathons in 2 weeks, but it's so great. I'm glad that Oklahoma City Marathon was opened up to them.
And they had good weather for it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, the contents of the Century Chest are unveiled. That's next.
Social media gives readers a voice that they can interact with us in a way that I don't think they've ever been able to. And it allows us to, include their thoughts and their questions and everything in our content.
Whereas we used to just publish and just tell everybody what the news and entertainment and information was. The rest of the world wants to engage. They want to talk back. They want us to talk back to them. They want insight, they want opinion, and a lot of that is new culturally for a newspaper.
I look up to you for all the things you do. I hope to be like you someday soon.
Working hard for every smile. Another reason why Cox is your friend in the digital age.
In 2012, we had the largest concentration of Oklahoma musicians to go to South by Southwest ever. Dave Morrison and I, we talked about it. It's like, let's just do this guerrilla style, okay? We'll shoot 1 or 2 performances by an act, and then we'll get an interview, and we'll get it up as quickly as possible. So that's what we were doing. We ended up with 21 different videos, and those also included some stand-up.
Last week we told you about a 100-year-old chest at the First Lutheran Church in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, that's right. City and state leaders were at the church as the Century Chest was finally opened to unlock the doors to the past.
My involvement was a letter that Mayor Whit Grant wrote back in 1913. I think what you'll learn from Mayor Grant's comments is that his greatest concern was for us. The future welfare of Oklahoma rests with the individual citizen. A failure on his part to meet the entire obligations of citizenship can only result in a corresponding degree of failure in government. The greatest danger confronting our state today is the manifest indifference on the part of many of our citizens in the affairs of government. The forces of good and evil fight just as ceaselessly and just as bitterly in the life of a nation as they do in the life of an individual. Let us not declare ourselves into believing that all of the people of Oklahoma are advocates or desire good government.
And some of the items in the chest were patent leather ladies' shoes, a metallic 1913 telephone, and a blue women's hat with a red ribbon. And all still looks brand new. That's what's very cool. The chest has now been transferred to Dr. Bob Blackburn, the director of the Oklahoma Historical Society at the History Center. I love that story.
Pretty cool.
It's so neat. How cool. I mean, we need to do that. Like a News OK Oklahoman Century Chest. Bury it, and then in 100 years.
I'm just thinking of all the stuff on Kyle Roberts' desk that we could put in there.
Videographer Kyle Roberts, yes, that's true.
Anyway, that's all the time we have for this edition of News OK TV.
And you can watch all of these videos and much more online at newsok.com. See ya.